Yes, hello folks, welcome back. I am hoping you're doing well wherever you are. And now, I'll tell you that what happened yesterday was a clear indication of how Kenya can sing one term, but ikifika siku, they get confused and they say two term.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. The people of Mbeere have made their choice and Wamuthendea it is. Congratulations to the people of Mbeere. Am I mad at them? No. Am I disappointed? A little maybe. Kidogo tu. But there are always two things that I've always said na mnanitukana sana. Number one, the cancer of Kenya is the Kenyan voter. Haikuangi politicians. No. Cancer ya Kenya ni wa Kenya wenyewe. Yeah? And poverty isn't even the real enemy here, my friends. The real enemy here is ignorance and greed. Because tell me why you'd sell your future, your child's future, juu ya sukuma ya mbao, chips kuku, na lollipop. The cancer of Kenya is the Kenyan voter, not the politicians. Those politicians are a mirror of who we are. They are the face of who we are as a people. Ukiona Kawanjiko hapo, he represents Kiamba. That is how the people of Kiamba, they behave the same way he behaves. That is why they voted him in. Ukiona Wamuthendea hapo today is because that is the face of the people of Mbeere North. Number two, nimeishi kuambia my mates, the so-called Gen Z, are not a block you trust. Nimeishi kuambia hawa watu, they want change without putting in any effort. Nimeishi kusema munanitukana. You see now, how many Gen Zs did you see in the voting lines huko Mbeere? Hakuna, hawakwenda kupiga kura, and they exist anyway, and they want change. Well, I've always maintained Gen Zs are not people you trust. When it comes to decisions in this country, please, the older generations take over. Don't.
That is what I'm going to start with in this podcast. Because no one expected Wamuthendea to win. In fact, Kenyans, especially Mount Kenya people, expected Karish to win the by-election in Mbeere North. Why? Because of the support he got from Gachagua. Gachagua campaigned door to door. Yet powerful, speeches. But what went down is Wamuthendea won the election. But now, first of all, Kenyans don't agree with the results. Yes, Kenyans all over, except a few, but a big percentage say that the results were fake. Let me begin with Justin Muturi. Let me read what he said. So, according to UDA, Honorable Newton Kariuki Ndwiga got 141 votes in Kanyuambora. Yet, from that 4A, Lely shows 236 votes. Yes, so he's trying to to highlight the discrepancies. I mean, the errors that of course IBC did. And I'm not shocked with this complaint because we saw how this election went from the goons from Kila Kitu. Yes, and it was clear that the government was determined to make Wamuthendea win the by-election. It was just clear because even a day before, we had Gachagua saying that some ballot boxes were marked. But of course, they need to prove that because as we're talking, Karish is challenging the results and he wants a recount. Yes, Antaka zihesabiwe tena. So, let's wait and see. But now Kenyans have divergent views. Some say that there's also a fake.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So, the only lesson we're taking from this by-election that we weren't even following, it's like forced on us through X and all these other platforms, is that, dear Kenyans, family, we are not going to get the change we want in this country by waiting for 2027. And I know a lot of people fear and so just want to do what the status quo says because we don't know how this change is going to come. People don't want this. People don't want another Tanzania wipeout. But (2027) is a sham. And I keep telling you, there will be no election in 2027. I don't see it. So it better be collectively picking an hour every day. Let's say 6 a.m. when you first wake up, with your first breath. Declare, pray, affirm that a new Kenya is a must.
But some say that the opposition was not organized. What do you say? Listen.
Wamuthende ni fire si fire. Wamuthende ni moto si moto. You see, Wamuthende amenyorosha watu wa opposition pale Mbeere North. And it's a deserved win. A win is a win. Hata kama ni kura tatu, a win is a win. But kuna vitu tatu zimehappen pale Mbeere North, zimefanya opposition washindwe hiyo kiti. Na wakizingatia hizo vitu tatu, they will give William Ruto a run for his money. Because you know, by elections, a litmus test for a general election. So if election were to be held today, William Ruto angekuwa na almost 40% ya vote ya Central Kenya, which is a very big win for him. But now kitu ya kwanza, our opposition leader ambao wanajiita opposition leaders, ambao ni vinara wengi wako kwa opposition, they should appoint one person to be the opposition bigwig, so that mahali kama Central Kenya, why should they field a candidate of a DP where we have a opposition leader ambayo ni Rigathi Gachagua anakuja from Central Kenya? Wale pale wangepatia mtu wa DCP. Wangepatia mtu wa DCP apeperushe hiyo bendera ya opposition pale Mbeere North. Kwa sababu ukiangalia DP ni chama kidogo ambacho kidogo hakijulikani maeneo ya Central Kenya. And number 2, yule jamaa alikuwa amesimama na DCP. Hawangemchuja, wangemuleta karibu, waongee na yeye. Zile kura zake 2000 ambazo wamepata, hata kama angegawa katikati, zingekuwa na impact. So the moment yule jamaa alisimama na DCP, wakamtenga na wakamwacha nje, Moses Kuria akaingia pale. Na mkumbuke Moses Kuria ni mtu wa William Ruto. Yeye alitumwa pale kufanya hiyo hesabu. So wakati alikuja pale, aliharibu hesabu. So ukiangalia William Ruto, alijaribu kivyo vyote vile, wale watu walikuwa nasimama na UDA, wasisimame, akawa promise majob, wakasimamisha mtu mmoja. Shanielewa. Lakini hawa watu wa opposition wangeita hata hawa watu walikuwa wamesimama na independent candidate moja, wale wanaegemea upande wa opposition, wakuje waambie msisimame, msigawe kura.
Yes. Do you think these results were fake? I'm asking that question. And if you think so, what are the factors that makes you think they were fake? But one thing I know is that there was no way the government would have let Gachagua win, because this by-election was not between Wamuthende and Karish. No, it was between Gachagua and William Ruto. Because William Ruto was at pain when he realized that Gachagua had taken the mountain support from him. So he actually installed Kindiki, and he made sure that there was a vacancy in Mbeere North by giving Ruku job. After that, he wanted to test Gachagua's power in Mbeere North. But now, the government spent a lot of money just to make sure that Wamuthende wins the by-election. That's how it is. So, it was a litmus paper. And this litmus paper could easily determine what will happen in 2027. So, my take is, the opposition ought to have, of course, also organized themselves. Because I am of this view that if Karish would have gone with DCP party, I'm telling you what, ingekuwa history. DCP would have won, because DCP is so popular in Mount Kenya. DCP is popular, kweli, kushinda UDA. But Karish chose to go with DP, and DP belongs to Justin Muturi. So that's why I think there's some confusion, and probably that gave Wamuthende a step ahead na kashinda hiyo by election. But some say that Kenyans are ignorant. I heard somewhere, yes, they vote as in they will cry today that they are suffering. Ikifika siku ya kura, they vote otherwise. And that's true. I agree with that statement. Hiyo ni ukweli. Leo Wakenya wanalia, tuko njaa, tunalia. Then ikifika siku ya campaign ama siku ya kupiga kura, they change their mind. Then they end up electing leaders maybe hawakutaka. Yes, because one thing for sure, we have seen our Mount Kenya region, the whole country, complaining about this government. But how do you get swayed and elect their choice? That's the question. Yes. So sometimes when William Ruto wins the election, don't blame him. He is just doing what he does best as a politician. Anawadanganya, anawaambia kila kitu. Then mnaingia box. So you can't blame him because he's playing his card well. Hata kama ni wewe ungecheza your card very well. And I've been saying in this podcast that William Ruto, he might not be the best president in Kenya, but in terms of, scheming, calculating, I'm telling you, he is top notch. He knows how to scheme, and he knows how to attack and when to attack. And what he has done in Mbeere North, he has changed the narrative in Mount Kenya. So Gachagua should just sit down and ajiulize, how is he going to convince the Mount Kenya people that the elections were sham and that he is the kingpin? He has to do that because what is going to follow here is that Kindiki will be crisscrossing the entire Mount Kenya region. Akiwaambia kwamba yeye no kingpin. In fact, even before elections, he had said that he's the king. And that makes you ask yourself, was this election fair? Yes, because Kindiki was talking and he was sure that he was going to win that election. And he even said that yeye ni king, Gachagua is a beginner. So that's how it went down in Mbeere North. And this by-election, is going to bring new political battle in Mount Kenya. Yes, and of course, I always say, never underestimate your opponent. So the worst Gachagua can do is underestimating Kindiki. If at all he underestimates Kindiki, he will be in for it. Because Kindiki, as I'm telling you now, is someone to be watched also. Yes. Bye. If you love politics, then Dr. Politica is your cup of tea. The place for minds that think. If you are watching this from anywhere else, search the name, hit subscribe, and stay sharp with us. Thank you for making Dota Politica your home for fearless political truth. Every view, every like, every share fuels the fire behind the hours of research, filming, and editing we pour into each episode. By showing up consistently, you don't just support a channel, you empower a voice. In a world ruled by headlines, spin, and power games, you remind us that real people still care about real facts. We are here to inform, inspire, and ignite critical thinking, not just for today, but for generations to come. You are not just a viewer, you are the reason this platform exists.